Hello, EKN Nation. Welcome to a new edition of the EKN OutLap. We are looking forward to going west for the first time in 2025. The Challenge of the Americas is about to get set up out at Musselman Honda Circuit in Tucson, Arizona. My name is Rob Howden, joined by David Cole. This is episode 83, January 27th, 2025, our preview podcast to start off this year's Challenge of the Americas. Today's show presented by Sodi Racing USA. What brand is known around the world for its innovation and success? It is Sodi Kart. The Sodi brand returned in full force during the 2023 season thanks to the new exclusive importer, the karting distribution led by industry veteran Terry Germanovich. The French manufacturer Sodi Kart is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products and services. Visit sodi-racing-usa.com to learn more about the Sodi Kart chassis or call 954-634-5111 to become part of the Sodi Racing USA network today. Sodi Kart, the world leader in the karting industry. Well, David, a couple weeks ago, we fired things up down in Orlando, Florida. The SuperKarts USA Winter Series getting things underway to start off what will be their complete national program, throwing in the Pro Tour and, of course, the Super Nationals in Las Vegas in November. Time to get it rolling, though, on the West Coast with the primary series in the West, a four-race program this year for the Challenge of the Americas. Lots of new things, including the debut of the new Shinko tire.
Yeah, that's the headline of the challenge for the 2025 season is the new tire that they're going to be essentially debuting to the masses, because it's been here for a couple months. Competitors have been on it already, but that's kind of the focal point of this year's challenge, aside from the expansion of the actual series itself. But the tire is going to be the big talking point.
4 events on the docket, starting things off this coming weekend, January 31st to February the 1st, out of the Musselman Honda Circuit in Tucson, Arizona. One of the best pure racetracks in North America. The thing just races so good. So many overtaking opportunities. Always for me, as the commentator, a great race to call, because I know I'm going to get overtakes all over that racetrack. At least 5, maybe 6 potential passing opportunities in that racetrack. 8-round championship over the 4 weekends, David, as I had mentioned. Tucson, K1, Sonoma, and then June, the push to 4 races up in to Utah in June. Rounds 1 and 2, though, happening this coming weekend at Musselman Honda Circuit.
Yeah, it's going to be the 18th season for the Challenge of the Americas, again, which began back in 2008.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a stable program. It's obviously had its transitions, beginning with road tax, moving over to the rock platform, and opening up last year, and kind of being that independent program now that it is. So it's got a vast amount of history. We've seen a lot of drivers go up through the challenge. We talk about our first trip back to Tucson, or first trip ever to Tucson with the challenge was in 2012. You had drivers like a Stingray Rob, who was a up-and-coming cadet driver at the time.
Yep. The crazy thing is, David, you think about this, probably 80% of the paddock this coming weekend, the drivers weren't even born when the series first started back in 2008.
Well, that's a good thing. Now that the Challenge in America is working with Race Select, I actually have the age of all the drivers. So if you look at it, a good amount of the senior field was not born yet. You do have a few drivers over the age of 18. So a couple of them in their 20s, but yeah, you talk cadets, juniors, those drivers are not even close.
Yeah. Not even close.
You got one shifter kart driver who wasn't born, was born after the challenge started. But of course the Masters guys have been around, and so it's, again, 18 years. It has a lot of history to it. Andy could sit there, and Andy Staisman, the promoter, can talk to you for hours about all the different craziness and excitement that has happened over the first 17 years.
Yeah, I think the big takeaway from the 18th season is the simple fact that the Challenge of the Americas, like a number of these programs that we're finally locking into, has provided stability, right? There's always been Andy Saisman, there's always been his crew of people that he has working for him that have been with him for so many years, the best of the best. We know these guys do such a fantastic job. David, you and I have been lucky enough, of course, to work very closely with them. So we were there when they're having discussions on how to approach weekends. We're up there with Shelby Jocelyn Jocelyn, who's second to none in terms of timing and scoring. And so we see the inner workings behind it. And we know that everything they do comes from a place of wanting to provide the best product they possibly can for the teams and the drivers. So that's obviously a huge thing. But just the stability the program's been able to develop through 18 years. Again, that's just always a takeaway that I'm getting from now that I've been in the sport for 30 years. And I remember that first decade that I was involved, decade and a bit, there was just so much turmoil, right? The chaos, different organizations. We're in a place of a lot of stability right now. Well, on the West Coast, you got to give us some props, a cheers of the glass to Andy Saisman for providing that with the Challenge of the Americas.
Well, I mean, we are in the United States. I know you're Canadian, so you don't have much of a history like that, but it's like the wild, wild West. I mean, karting is really that, because there's always going to be the influx of people who I can do better than that, or I can do this better, or this and that, and the new products that come through. And so there's a lot of changes that do happen. You know, it goes back to our roots in karting. I mean, that's really what it is. You know, there's always been the evolution of the sport, but it's also been its own worst enemy. So that's kind of the problem. But yeah, to have specific series that, you know, competitors can count on, especially now the industry members as well too, because they need racers going out and racing in order for products to be sold. Yep. So that's you know, it's a big, you know, there's a lot to incorporate when you're looking at you know, karting series and kart shops and race teams and all that.
It's all interconnected, right? That's the bottom line.
That's the word I was looking for.
You need racers. You need events to have racers to race at. You need tracks to have series to come to. You need to have the shops and the teams and everybody to make things happen. So again, it's all together. One of the great things about this is, you know, we used to call it as the Winter Series, the West Coast Winter Series. We're now expanding that, being kind of the West Coast headline spotlight series on the West Coast, because of course up to Sonoma, then all the way to Utah. It is still a cool fact that yes, it's in the winter. We're wrapping it by the end of January, start of February. But David, let's just wrap up this particular segment. Talk about the weather. We're actually, again, it's cold. It's been super cold here north of the border, Michigan, Ontario, where I am. We're going to get cooler temperatures in the morning. We are out in the Arizona desert, but we're looking at temps that have been actually improving over the last couple of days. We're going to be low 70s Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is awesome. You'll now be pulling up shorts for sure.
Yeah, it might be a pants day on Friday, because I think the highs are in the upper 60s, so it won't quite get into the 70s there until Saturday and Sunday. And you even have a low of 38 on Friday, so it could be Thursday night, Friday morning. It could be the cold time of the weekend. Yeah. But the rest of the weekend looks good. You know, we did have a freezing weekend one time in Tucson, but for the most part, it's pretty good. It's going to be based around the wind. If there's a lot of wind, it's going to feel really cold.
Agreed.
But we'll have sunshine all weekend long, so that's the main thing.
David, let's dive into the event notes here right now. For those of you who don't know, the track, the Musselman Honda Circuit, is a replica of the Suzuka track in Japan. It's 0.8 of a mile. There's 13 turns. We run it they can run in both directions. We're running in the counterclockwise direction, with, for me, is my favorite, passing opportunity into 1, into 2, into 4, coming back to 5, at the end of the S's into 9, all the way down the back straightaway in the last couple of corners, 12 and 13 rather. You can make passing opportunities there as well. Fantastic racetrack. And David, it really has been kind of one of the staples of the Challenge of the Americas over the last number of years.
Yeah, this will be the 12th visit for the series, counting the 2 visits we had last year in 2024, where we went the clockwise direction one of the weekends, which it just felt weird. The flow of everything didn't work out. It just still all right in that direction. It, had some uniqueness to it, but the counterclockwise is certainly. It's kind of like Trackhouse. That's the way that track is laid out. That's the way you go. It's not like a Newcastle where you have 80 different configurations and directions you can go.
Hey, Dave, run us through the event schedule.
Yeah, the event schedule is Wednesday, Thursday, unofficial practice. We already know some teams were already there this weekend getting some testing time. So lots of track time available on Wednesday and Thursday, run by the racetrack themselves. And then Friday is when we get into official event with 5 rounds of practice. We have 2 10-minute practice sessions followed up by 2 12-minute sessions, and then a 20-minute hot pit at the end of the day to provide the teams and competitors with the option of coming in, making changes, going back out, and what is a fun little 20-minute practice session for all 6 categories. Then we'll move into the racing part of the weekend. Round 1 on Saturday will be a warm-up, qualifying, pre-final, and final. The pre-finals will be 14 laps for all the categories except for cadet, which will run 12. And then finals will have 20 laps for all the categories except for 16 laps for the cadet division. And then we'll repeat that on Saturday or on Sunday for round 2.
Yeah, there you go, folks. That's the lineup of how things are going to roll out when we get to Tucson this coming weekend. Time for our first break. When we get back, we'll have a look at the by the numbers. It's Monday here doing the show, and pre-registration is done. We've got the numbers that we have. David and I'll run through them when we get back after this break. Made in the USA. That's exactly what you get from Precision Karting Technologies. Based in Detroit, Michigan, PKT brings over 35 years of manufacturing experience to the sport of karting. Their passion for the sport began focusing around the kid kart platform and has expanded every year with hundreds of products designed to put you on the podium. Precision Karting Technologies is known around North America for their successful line of axles, available in all age groups. PKT manufactures a number of engine products for Comer, IAME, Rock, Rotax, and the popular Briggs & Stratton 206. A wide variety of chassis components for the many brands in the sport are available through PKT, including hubs, pedal risers, skid plates, and other hardware for your kart. Axle straightening, chassis adjustments, engine service, and specific CNC machining projects are available through their Motor City headquarters. To learn more about the many products and services available from Precision Karting Technologies, head to pktaxles.com. Parolin is among the winningest brands in the USA and around the world. The Parolin Le Mans full-size chassis for junior and senior classes and the Parolin Opportunity model for cadet divisions have earned success weekend after weekend at all the major championships and events in both the USA and throughout Europe. The Parolin chassis lineup also includes the Invader shifter, along with the Daytona 4-cycle chassis and the Delfino kid kart. Karters can head to the ParolinUSA.com website where the entire chassis line and parts are available to you, with shipping available all across North America. Parolin USA partners with several companies and race teams across the country to provide a strong dealer network to represent the brand locally and at the national level to support drivers throughout North America. Get on the chassis that's winning. Drive a Parolin. Winning takes top quality equipment, flawless preparation, experienced coaching, and passion. And at Team GFC, we live our passion. Developed by American karting champion Gary Carlton, the GFC chassis has become one of the newest brands to reach the top of the podium in North America. GFC has garnered victories and championships at all levels of the sport since its debut at the end of 2018. Shifter car drivers are at the front of the field in the GT14 frame, with the SS31 a consistent contender in tag and 100cc competition. Team GFC has a ride and drive packages available for all categories, including the mini and micro classes utilizing the GFC RR5 cadet chassis. These young pilots have the opportunity to be part of the Team GFC Young Driver Development Program. Learn from one of the best American karters with 28 years racing at the highest levels in the sport, offering personalized training on and off the track. Follow GFC Karting on Facebook and Instagram, or click over to gfckarting.com to learn more about joining Team GFC. GFC, live your passion. Welcome back to episode 83 of the EKN OutLap. Rob Howden alongside Davis Cole as we do our preview for this coming weekend's Challenge of the Americas, a full EKN Trackside live program, as we'll have our live play-by-play stream on the website and on the app, as well as ekartingnews.com/radio, ekartingnews.com/live. So you'll be able to pick up the live coverage throughout the week on the audio play. We're into the by the number section right now, David, and it actually isn't the best. We were looking for more. There is a specific drop in one particular area. One of the big things that coming up, we'll start with the fact that 101 pre-entries coming in. Last year, the total was 114. We've seen a lot of late entries, so there is a possibility to get back to last year's total, but 101 to start the weekend here. +6, though, in the 60cc cadet category. 19 drivers in the cadet class.
Yeah, that's a massive improvement. I mean, it was just a couple of years ago that they were lucky to have 5 in the cadet division. Yeah. So that's the influx we're starting to see. Is it the Netflix stuff for F1? What is it that the youth movement is just it's unreal. So we're seeing a large numbers across the country, and now the challenge is benefiting from that. And hopefully they'll get into 20. We'll maybe get a couple walk-ups for that category. But it's great to see the influx. We'll kind of, with all the 60 and 100cc categories and even the shifter categories, different power plants are allowed in the classes. So that's something we'll kind of gauge again in 2025, kind of see who's running what. I think we're pretty good on the VLR engine as the junior package. That's pretty much the go-to for that junior category. But cadet, senior 100cc, masters 100cc, those are kind of a toss-up between IAME or the Vortex power plants.
So let me throw this out first. One of the key things is unlike a lot of the other series that run 8, 9, 10 classes, whatever it may be, the challenge is just 6 classes. So it's to get to even the 180 mark or 200 mark, you're looking at an average of 30 per class. So, challenge more looking at the 130 to 150. I think that window as being a super strong year. 2 categories up out of the 6, +6, as we said, in 60cc cadet, only 13 last year at the opener, 19 as pre-registered coming in. 100cc senior is a massive field. It was 30 last year, +6 at 36. So 100cc senior, the primary, of course, single speed category for the senior drivers, about 36 is strong. A little surprised, David, that the 100cc junior category dropping down to 23, or is it part of that, hey, a bunch of juniors moved up to senior? Is that where that came from?
I was just going to say that. Right? Yeah, there's a bunch of kids moving up from junior to senior this year. So I think that's the influx you see in senior and kind of the drop you see in junior. There are some kids coming up from cadet into junior, but not as many. So, maybe that'll be the walk-up class where we get up to 30. I think last year we were right on the cusp most of the year of that 30 mark, because we just got into the 30 mark for junior on that opening weekend, and then the rest of the year it was a little bit off of that. So we'll see how the weekend goes with that.
19 in cadet, which is 60cc, 23 drivers right now in 100cc junior, so still a strong field. 36 in 100cc senior, 9 drivers in the 100cc master category. We've had 12 before. We're down 3, so maybe a couple of drivers will come out of the woodwork in the masters category to give us double digits. The big one, though, folks, as I kind of alluded to at the start of this by the numbers segment, is the lack of shifters. And it's a big surprise because the shifter program has really been a big part of the challenge for the last number of years. They've had a lot of drivers come in. Last year, all total, combining senior and masters, there was 29. This year, 14 total. Senior shifter, 8 drivers, master shifter, 6. So 11 down in master shifters. Where do those masters drivers go?
Where are shifter cart drivers at?
Very true.
Because we just saw the Florida Winter Tour have 0 shifters for the first time that I can recall.
Yeah, you're right.
We talk about how Supercarts USA started the Florida Winter Tour, was part of the initial start of the Florida Winter Tour. It moved over to the Road Tax platform, went under the Bill Wright ownership for a number of years, and then under the ownership of the Max Speed Group. And then transitioned over to Rock. Well, even when it was the Road Tax based platform, they still had that second weekend where they had shifters, and there were shifter carts showing up. Even though it was just basically the Winter Series program, they still had shifters. So we saw 0 shifters there. We had, a good influx of shifters at the Winter Series event. Only 5 Masters drivers, and 2 of them only ran on Sunday.
Right.
It's just.
So what you're saying, Dave, this is an overall trend.
It's an overall. Right? It seems to be an overall trend. you can't really look at the numbers from the Super Nationals
No.
because there's so many international drivers coming over, and especially in the Masters category, that's what we saw. You look at other programs around the country. It seems like there are some numbers there, but it's just a hit and miss. It's like throwing darts. Sometimes you'll hit the bullseye and sometimes you won't. And
it's people they're not committing to the amount of events as you would if you're a senior or a junior driver, right? If you look
or
at
cadet, cadets are at every single event.
So
let's just face that.
So if you're a shifter driver in the winter, you may do the Winter Series, you may do the Challenge. You're probably going to do the Pro Tour. And then, of course, Stars Championship, right, has had a really good shifter turnout as well.
And even that, I think
drivers that don't run the Pro Tour may run the Stars Championship.
Yeah, and I think all the heavy hitters I think they're focusing on Pro Tour. It's 3 big events. That's it, and then Super Nationals, and maybe we'll see, because it's Tucson and also it's a different tire. A lot of these shifter drivers don't want to run a tire that they're not going to be running the rest of the year.
That makes sense too. You're right.
So that's a lot of it that has to do with it. Because again, track time is crucial for your cadet and junior drivers, and even the senior drivers who, don't have the opportunity to go do Pro Tour. This is it. This is their program. This is where they're going to try and become champion. I think mostly, at least for the challenge, it's the trend, but it's mostly the tire as well too, because it's a brand new tire that's not going to be run anywhere else.
Yeah, you know what? That's a really good point. So there's there's a lot of factors potentially that are playing into the fact that we have 8 drivers in senior shifter and only 6.
There's always factors, Rob.
There's always factors. There's by the numbers, folks. 101 pre-entries coming in. We'll hope to see some walk-ups as we normally do. Challenge usually gets a good handful of walk-ups. I wouldn't be surprised to see us at 110 or more with walk-up drivers coming in to start off the season. So there you have it, folks. Another break. When we get back, we'll start diving into class-by-class previews. We'll start out with senior and junior 100cc. After the next break, senior shifter and master shifter. And we'll cap it all off with masters 100cc and cadet 60cc. After this break, we'll be back. We'll talk 100cc senior and junior. What brand is known around the world for its innovation and success? It is Sodi Kart. The Sodi brand returned in full force during the 2023 season thanks to the new exclusive importer, the Karting Distribution, led by industry veteran Terry Germanovich. The French manufacturer Sodi Kart is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products and services. The Sodi Racing chassis line offers product in classes from mini karts to KZ, all based on years of development and championship seasons around the world. Sodi Racing USA has expanded its dealer network over the last year, bringing the Sodi brand to several local clubs and regional programs. The Sodi Racing USA by PK Sports is the official race team, producing many victories in different levels across the board. And the new Pro Race Academy is designed to cater to the next generation of motor racing, helping boys and girls aiming to make their mark. Visit Sodi-Racing-USA.com to learn more about Sodi Kart chassis or call 954-634-5111 to become part of the Sodi Racing USA network today. Sodi Kart, the world leader in the karting industry. The new face of competitive karting in the Pacific Northwest region is RaceLab. The full-service karting operation is located at the state-of-the-art Kartplex facility in Oliver, British Columbia, Canada, providing everything you need to hit the track or put yourself in a successful driver development program. RaceLab is the official North American distributor for the TB Kart chassis brand, providing the full range of models from kid kart to shifter kart. Villeneuve Racing Karts is their flagship product, available only through RaceLab. The brand carries the name of Formula One champion and Indianapolis 500 winner Jacques Villeneuve, with each model produced by TB Kart. Kartplex, the home of RaceLab, is situated on the grounds of the Area 27 Motorsports Park. From full arrive and drive TB Kart rentals to leagues and competition karting, the facility provides a new home to developing the future stars of motorsports, all beginning at Kartplex with RaceLab. Follow RaceLab on social media on Facebook and Instagram or load up their website at www.theracelab.ca to learn more about TV Kart and Villeneuve racing karts. RaceLab. Race with us, win with us. It's a storied brand in karting, and it's got a new home in North America. Energy Course Americas is the official distributor for the Energy Course karting chassis and product line here in the US and Canada. The Energy Course brand was founded in 1997 out of passion and skill. Manufactured in Italy, Energy Course has gained national and international recognition with success in all different categories. Energy Course Americas offers an online store for the entire product line of the Energy Course brand, including complete racing packages, spare parts, race gear, clothing, and more, providing an excellent shopping experience. Race the brand that 9 of the 20 drivers currently in Formula One competed on during their karting careers. Visit energycourse.io to see the latest deals and to learn more about Energy Course Americas. Welcome back to the OutLap for this coming weekend's Challenge of the Americas opener in Tucson, Arizona, the Musselman Honda Circuit. My name is Rob Howden. David Cole, of course, with me as well here in the EKN studio. Senior 100cc, time to dive into the preview, class-by-class previews. 36 entries, biggest category on the weekend. Last year's champion, Kane Martin. David Winters last year, Keegan Kaminsky. Kane, of course, Dylan Archer. Chase Hand, Nick Persing. Should be a really interesting season, I think, with a number of drivers coming into the game.
It should be. You know, you look at, Kaminsky and Archer, they're returning winners. So they've been there. They've done that. But again, like we kind of talked about a little bit by the numbers, this is on a brand new tire. So who's going to be able to come to grips with this tire brand is going to be kind of the fun story to follow in all these different categories, and especially in senior 100cc with 36 different drivers in it. Yeah. So, you got to figure the same people who were in contention last year or former winners are going to be the same ones that you kind of see up front. And you got to think experience is going to be a big one as well too. And no one's more experienced than Oliver Hodgson, the British driver who now lives here in the USA. He's won road tax, he's won Miami, he's won everything pretty much in anything. So it'll be interesting to kind of see what he thinks, how he looks with this tire, because again, that's going to be kind of the focal point for all the car classes.
Who picks it up as quickly, right? And first and foremost, Kane Martin, not on the list. So last year's champion is not on the list at this point for Tucson to defend. David mentioned that Keegan Kaminsky and Dylan Archer winners last year are back. Josh Campbell on the list as well. Macy Williams, David, who we've seen run a lot of shifter kart racing as well. She's on the list for the 100cc senior class.
Yeah, she didn't compete at the challenge last year, so she's making a return. Campbell finished 4th last year in this category in the championships, so he's making a return back. Certainly a driver that will probably be a contender for podium position as well too. But we talked about it in by the numbers. A lot of drivers coming up from the junior ranks. Let's talk about Nick Eggleston, Johnny Stamps, Peyton Fayen, even a Rocky Moran Jr. coming up, and an Archer Eversman as well too. So all these drivers are making their senior debuts here this weekend,
and they're challenging America's veterans running in those junior categories, right? And from cadet to juniors, so they know the racetracks. Not like they're coming in raw. It's just taking that step up and running against some of the senior drivers. I love the fact that we have a really good group of rookies.
Yeah, and there's a lot of names as well too that we don't know too much about. The Arizona drivers, Colorado drivers. I don't see any Utah drivers in this category, so I'm a little disappointed in that. I thought we'd see at least a couple coming down from Utah to compete in this category because again, 100cc across the country is where a lot of grassroots racers are at. So maybe next year when we after we go up to Utah, we'll get a little bit more people included from Utah.
One of the teams that we need to talk about, Dave, because they're bringing a bunch of drivers down, is Nelleton Race Complex. That's Aaron Nelleton starting his kind of his own operation. Edward Ports coming in to run this one here as well, the Oregon driver. You throw in Steven Eisert as well with Speed Sense. So it's as you kind of go down through the list and kind of highlight some drivers, it's going to be a pretty tough run up front.
Well, that's something we've seen in the senior category for the last probably 4 or 5 years. It's there's not going to be a walk away. I think if there was a walk away, it'd be Hodgson because of his experience.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it's going to be a battle. We saw battles every weekend, every race, even pre-finals. Pre-finals were really contested last year in this category. So it's going to be a barn burner.
I love it. I'm going to throw Flavio Aquini in there as well. When we had the what class? The OKN class. He did really well there on the ITAL course. He'll be the one guy on the ITAL course and has been pretty good over the last couple of years. So I'm going to throw Aquini in as a driver who will be in the top 10 as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, it's you can't really pinpoint who the favorite is aside from maybe Hodgson, I think.
Yeah, hold on. I'm just scrolling down through here as well. Yeah, because I'm going to the next category, and it surprises me. So let's go to Junior 100cc, 23 pre-entries. A number of drivers, of course, as we know, have graduated up, including Nico Sarfati, the 2024 champion. But I don't see Sarfati on the list for 100cc seniors. So that kind of surprises me a little bit. Winners last year were Sarfati, David Ybarra, Eggleston, Alex Rentala, Turner Brown. Sarfati, as we said, has moved up. Eggleston's moved up. Peyton Westcott has actually graduated. She's going to run cars this year over in Europe. So, David, only one driver from the top 10 of 2024 back.
Yeah, that's Eric Doan, the driver for Speed Sense Motorsports. He finished, I think, 8th in the championship last year. So he's the only driver that was up front regularly at the challenge that will be returning for 2025. So we're going to see a lot of new names. I mean, we'll see some familiar names possibly up front because we do have a lot of junior rookies, or a couple of them, including last year's 60cc champion or 2-time champion, Braden Wagner, coming up to the junior ranks along with Drew Jensen, who actually moved up after the challenge last year from cadet to junior. So he's got pretty much half a season of junior racing under his belt. So he could be among those up front. We'll see how Wagner does. Another name to look for, Jackson Gibson, who was a former Super Nationals winner. This will probably be his 3rd season in the junior ranks. So he could be among those drivers that kind of stands out this weekend as well.
Yeah, and I look at like a Luca Popescu potentially for a veteran driver, Xander Malatesta. We've seen him kind of be top 10. Derek Wargo, another driver to look at. There's a number of drivers. Obviously GFC's got a lot of drivers in the cadet category. About 1, 2, 3 in the cadet class as well, plus a couple of the other programs. So Formula Works as well with Matthew Cagle. So a lot of GFCs out there.
Lots of GFCs in this category. There's lots of GFCs at the challenge to begin with. They bring a lot of drivers with Formula Works and the actual GFC karting operation up in NorCal. So they bring those together. You also have the, we'll talk about it later, the Scuderia Littell team out of Utah for the shifter kart category. So again, a lot. The junior category is fun to watch, going to be this year because again, who's going to stand out? That's kind of, we kind of look at that with the micro divisions because there's a lot of new names in that. Where this one, there's a lot of names. You're kind of like, okay, I remember seeing them. Now, what are they going to do coming into this year?
Exactly that. David had mentioned talking about the shifter kart categories. We'll get to them right after this break, folks. Don't go anywhere. We get back on this edition of the Outlap. Shifter Senior, Shifter Master. Check out any major national karting event, and what's the common thread? Speed Concepts Racing. Up front, in every class, every weekend. The Speed family has been at the forefront of American karting for over 25 years, and Speed Concepts Racing is the sole dedication of Father Mike Speed and his multi-time championship-winning son Alex Speed. This program is all about passion for the sport and a dedication to winning. They know how to get it done. If you're a senior driver ready to put yourself amongst the best in the country, Speed Concepts Racing is the program for you. We can win the big races. You just need to be in the seat. The Speeds program has delivered time over time in the junior classes as well, helping to elevate a long list of young drivers from mid-pack to potential race winners. Speed Concepts Racing has the perfect equation of coaching, driver development, and technical knowledge to elevate your program. Arrive and drive opportunities are available for the remainder of the 2023 season, and we're locking in seats for 2024 as well. If you're ready to take your career to the next level, contact Speed Concepts Racing through email at speedconceptsracing@gmail.com. Ready to step up your game? Joining the Rawlison Performance Group is the obvious choice to take your racing to the next level. Industry-leading driver development is provided by our staff of multi-time national champions, Super Nationals winners, and Team USA members. And at the same time, RPG continues to be a national-level powerhouse race team. Our goal is to help you raise your game and win races. We work with all age groups and are focused on developing those cadet and junior drivers who are ready to take the next step in their racing program. Rawlison Performance Group has set a new standard with our in-house engine program, AVP Engines, headed by Alex Vincent. AVP has become the benchmark in IAME competition. We have the largest OTK inventory that follows our race team, providing trackside parts at all the major events in North America. RPG also offers multilingual support with French, Spanish, and Portuguese-speaking staff. If you want to fight for championships or want to improve your skills and your chances to win, the answer is to call RPG at 503-260-4514. The Rawlison Performance Group. We race to win. All over the karting world, everyone knows OTK is the gold standard for quality and performance. In the United States, OTK USA is the source for all things OTK. 8 brands under the OTK USA banner are winning races and championships across the country in national programs like the Rock Cup USA Florida Winter Tour, the Challenge of the Americas, the SCUSA Pro Tour and Winter Series, the United States Pro Kart Series, and even more programs throughout the country. And OTK products are also front and center on the podium of club and regional races from coast to coast. Tony Kart, Cosmic, Esprit, EOS, and Red Speed have been joined by the Gallard, LN Racing Kart, and CS55 brands. To learn more about a specific product line or to find the OTK USA dealer near you, visit otkusa.com. Specific chassis territories are still available, so kart shops interested in adding a winning component to their product lineups can contact OTK USA directly. OTK, the gold standard of karting. Back at it once again here with the OutLap, our preview podcast for this coming weekend's Challenge of the Americas. Rob Howard alongside David Cole. We're heading to the Musselman Honda Circuit in Tucson. Looking forward to that one. This is going to be an interesting talk because the drivers that we normally have talked about over the last number of years in senior shifter are not there. Jacob Gulick is not there. Kyle Wick. There's a number of drivers who aren't part of the program. One is, though, David, 8 pre-entries. Your reigning champion from last year, Michael Avancino, will be back once again. 8 drivers in total. Again, winners last year, Daniel Vazile would go on to win the Super Nats as well, and the Rock Vegas event. Wick won, Avancino, Nick LeDuc. We won't see LeDuc. We won't see Wick. We won't see Vazile. Avancino is back. It's a short but interesting group for Shifter Senior.
Yeah, Avancino will certainly set the bar for the field coming in as the defending champion and a race winner at Tucson as well, too. So him in the Round White Racing CRG package will probably be one of those that everybody's going to kind of keep on the clock and see how they do with, Anthony Freeze being the only other driver that really has experienced Tazio Otis as well, too, under the Karting Collective tent. So those are kind of the 3 experienced and veteran drivers of the field, because the rest are a bunch of names that are from different regions. We got actually 3 drivers from Utah that'll be down in Tucson this weekend. So
interesting. We'll talk about those drivers for sure. 2 of them with us. Scuderia Littell, as you had mentioned. Ayrton Littell will be there. Obviously, he's also has Evan Concepcion down with him. We do have a couple of drivers on ITAL karts with the new program between Nash Motorsports and Italian Motors. Massimo Valiente will be there. Nolan Gagnon will be there as well. running with the ITAL kart program with Nash Motorsports. Andrew Byrne, the other driver as well, David, on the ITAL kart out of Surrey, British Columbia. So a couple of Canadians coming into the program as well, California, Utah, but just not the lineup of drivers we're kind of regularly seeing in senior shifter.
Well, like we talked about, this used to be the West Coast program, winter West Coast program that, the drivers that's headline, the top drivers in the EKN driver rankings would use the challenge races to kind of get ready for the season. Well, we're starting to see kind of a dip in that. We do know that, drivers pick and choose, and that's kind of what it is. We're maybe it's because it's Tucson, maybe because it's the tire. Again, a lot of different factors into it.
So moving on to Master Shifter, 6 pre-entries. None of the winners from last year are back. Cody Hodgson, Bud Grossenbacher, Rob Kozakowski, and Patrick O'Neill. None of those drivers at this point signed up for the weekend. Last year's champion, Bud Grossenbacher, as we said, not here. Michael Gouache, though, returning to the Challenge of the Americas. We've seen him run that program quite a bit. And David, the big one is one of the drivers from Indiana coming west, Joe Rook, making his challenge debut.
Yeah, he's hooking up with Gouache. If I recall, they'll be both on the Maranello, working with the Maranello program the last couple of years. So, it'll be good to see Joe come out west and experience the challenge. I'm wondering if he's going to have Henry Korn wrenching for him. We'll see if that's is a combination. They have a good time. And so Joe, see him. He's a former Rock Island winner. A Stars Championship Series champion as well too, Pro Tour winner, lots of accolades under his belt. So we'll see if he can add challenge winner to that. Yeah,
I think he's going to be the guy to beat for sure. Gouache, we know, very quick. Also in the Masters category, Michael Faker, who was involved in a battle for the top 5 in points last year. Marcin Klodas, always shown good speed. We got drivers Chris Muki and Mayence Spacciarelli coming out as well. Spacciarelli running with Alan Shuto Racing. So 6 in total, David, in the Masters Shifter class. Let's hope for a couple of guys that decide, hey, you know what, I'm going to clear my weekend. I'm going to roll out to Tucson and do some Master Shifter racing.
And you can put a bet down. I mean, this is a winning bet. The shifter numbers are going to be massive when we go to K1 circuit for the challenge, because there's a lot of Southern California drivers that have been itching, to bring the challenge back to Southern California. And when we do, these numbers are going to explode. That is one thing for sure.
That's it. We back in the day, it was called the Cal Speed bump, right? Anytime the series went into Cal Speed, we were going to go to 135, 140, whatever it meant. Now with obviously Southern California, as we know, folks, has been struggling since the past, the shuttering of Cal Speed karting, the new development at K1, where a number of drivers, another series are running at K1, is really going to kind of give it a good shot in the arm that it needs. People are excited about getting out to that K1 track. And same goes with the challenge, David. As you said, there's going to be great numbers for that event.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And again, we have the opportunity to get kind of establish the base this weekend. Again, new tire, expanded season, so you just weren't quite sure what we were going to get, but the ebbs and flows of it. And the rest of the year is looking promising.
Agreed. All right, one more break. When we get back, folks, we're going to wrap it all up on this edition of the OutLap. We'll do the previews of Masters 100cc and Cadet 60cc, and David and I will wrap up the show. Don't go anywhere. A new era is here for TB Kart USA. The face of TB Kart USA has changed heading into 2025, with the ownership group behind the Amarillo Kart Circuit becoming the new U.S. importer and distributor of the TB Kart brand. Located at the Amarillo Kart Complex in Panhandle, Texas, owner Kyle Yachinsky is motivated to expand the TB Kart brand from coast to coast. As the brand's dealer network extends, TB Kart USA formed a partnership with Norway Motorsports Park to become the exclusive distribution partner for the North Central United States. TB Kart USA is working with current dealers around the U.S., striving to add more dealers and partners to help support TB Kart drivers at the local and regional programs. TB Kart is among the more innovative chassis manufacturers, growing into one of the leading brands in the world over the last decade. The history of the parent company for TB Kart dates back over a century in Erba, Italy, with the Brenna family. Their passion for manufacturing and racing led to the development of their first karts in the mid-1980s. TB Kart USA will continue to work directly with the TB Kart factory on development of each chassis model, ranging from kid kart to shifter kart. This strong relationship has led to new and improved front-end geometry, along with brake system changes to bring the TB Kart brand to the front for this season. The globally recognized TB Kart rental kart product line, featuring 5 different models, is also available through TB Kart USA for tracks to utilize here in the US. To learn more about joining the TB Kart USA distribution network or to find a dealer near you, contact them via email at amarillokartcomplex@gmail.com or call 210-787-0589. There's a new hot button name in American safety equipment, Stilo USA. Every product with Stilo is focused on safety, comfort, and function. Stilo USA is happy to provide you with the proper safety apparel to keep you protected on the track, and their karting lineup is second to none. New to the product lineup is the Stilo Carbon CMR karting helmet. Designed to revolutionize your karting experience, this carbon fiber crafted helmet is among the lightest on the market, without compromising on safety. The Stilo ST5 KRT karting helmet is manufactured using a lightweight and extremely strong composite material. The KRT provides an excellent fit and comfort level due to its dual density interior foam lining, and it's equipped with a symmetrical visor that offers excellent vision and an effortless central visor locking system. The Stilo ST5 CMR standard was developed jointly by the FIA Institute and Snell Memorial Foundation to ensure safer and lighter weight helmets for younger karters. Drivers rave about the superior comfort levels, lightweight construction, and the unparalleled field of vision that is perfect for the youth helmet line. Stilo didn't stop with their helmets either. The newly developed Carbon Curva rib protector is unlike any other on the market, with a form-fitting solution to offer superior protection. The Carbon Curva 8870 version is FIA homologated and includes a chest protector. Head to stilohelmets.com to review these products and many more to keep you safe on the track. Stilo, any competition, one helmet. Motor mounts. They keep your engine attached to your chassis, right? The answer is, they're much more important than that. Your motor mount is critical in transferring 100% of the power from your engine through to your tires and the racetrack. You need this to get on the podium each and every time you race. Odenthal Racing Products is here for you, providing the best motor mounts on the karting market today, all designed to make sure you're using all the horsepower you pay for. Odenthal Racing Products is a family-owned and operated business with decades of karting experience in providing products with unmatched quality and value for our racing community. The Pro Series mount for 2-cycle engines, which is available in 0, 5, and 8-degree inclinations, provides a rigid structure to help keep vibration to a minimum without adding too much weight to your setup. The 4-cycle Easy Set system is one of the most popular mounts for the Briggs & Stratton 206 power plant. Multiple mounting holes provide the most adjustability depending on your chassis and seat placement. To ensure a tight fit to your chassis, our ORP wedge clamps get the job done, and they feature a number of design updates to provide a lower profile and lighter weight. The clamps are available from 28mm to 32mm in both standard and Euro style sizes. And now, Odenthal has also revolutionized the karting industry with its new Easy GP camera mounting system. Designed to mount anywhere on your chassis with 1 or 2 cameras, the ORP Easy GP camera mount is your solution to capture that onboard winning moment. Head to odenthalracing.com and find a dealer near you. Odenthal Racing Products, proudly made in the USA. Back at it to cap off this edition of the EKN OutLap, episode number 83. Rob Haddon alongside David Cole. We will jet on Thursday to Tucson, Arizona. We'll be trackside on Friday morning to begin our coverage with, of course, the Paddock Insider. We'll cover and call the hot pit action. We'll have that on EKN Radio and the ekartingnews.com/live page. Time to wrap things all up, though, here, David. 100cc for the Masters drivers. 9 entries all total. Casey Cook came away with the championship last year. He's not running this coming weekend. He was a winner last year. Travis Irving, Greg Welch, a number of drivers coming through with race wins last season. I think the biggest news, David, for this one, Casey Cook won't be back. I don't think Irving's on the list. Welch isn't on the list. We've got the return of 2 former champions coming back to be part of this 9-entry grid right now.
Yeah, the eldest champion being Scott Falcone, the 2011 Challenge champion in the Masters division, making his return back. He's been amping up his karting over the last half of the year and is coming back. So we'll be seeing him back on the field, along with Eric Jackson, the 2018 series champion. So different eras. Falcone was Rotax, Eric Jackson, Rock champion for Masters division. So very interesting to kind of combination of those two making a return. We got
David, hold on. Throw it out there that Falcone's coming off a win as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
The Florida Winter Tour.
Yeah.
Right? Which is big for him. I had a chance to race with him at the CKNA Grand Nationals. He's done some 4-cycle racing. He's back into 2-cycle, doing a lot of that, but coming off a win there at Orlando in the Florida Winter Tour, he's right back at it big time. Right off of that weekend, right, obviously over into the win or into the weekend at Tucson as well. So Falcone's back behind the wheel.
Yeah, he's all over the place right now in terms of all the different events. He was at the SCUSA Winter Series as well too.
Yeah.
So this will be his 3rd event of the season already.
One driver that we will see back as well, haven't seen him in a couple of years, is Chad Wallace.
Yeah, Chad Wallace making a return, coming up down from Oregon. Hopefully he'll get a good experience at the Mexican restaurant because we love taking him there.
Lay off the spicy stuff, Chad.
And then Luke Tracy, as I was mentioning, another driver, series regular from Montana, making the trek down with Vimy Kart. So that's kind of the interesting part about the Masters division is the returning drivers. If you put together all the drivers we had last year with the returning drivers, we'd have a really good field or a big field for sure. So that's kind of the headline of the category. We do have a new driver, Damon Duckworth. That's the youngest driver in the field. You always got to look at that when the Masters field comes in. He's only 34 years old, so we'll see if he is able to contend on the weekend.
Is he up to the challenge?
Exactly.
We'll see. All right, folks, let's wrap it up here. 60cc cadet, 19 entries. Excuse me. Braden Wagner, as we talked about from the get, was a champion last year. Braden moving up as a number of drivers have. Big drivers coming back, though, and a couple of drivers having won last year as well. Nick Ramirez and Lucas Tarango. David, they're the top returning drivers from last year.
They are, yeah. Both won at the series finale in Sonoma. So essentially, Tarango coming in with a win streak because he's the last driver to win in the category. So we'll see if he's able to extend that one victory win streak as we go to Tucson. He is a Arizona driver. He is an Arizona. Lives in the Glendale, Arizona area. So we'll see if he's able to defend, quote unquote, somewhat home turf.
Let me correct myself. I said Nick Ramirez. It was actually Nathan Ramirez. Right?
Yes, Nathan Ramirez. Correct. Yeah.
It's another driver.
Yep.
Who else do you see in that group?
The other returning driver from last year that finished in the top 10 is where's his name? Hudson Hidalgo, the driver from Los Angeles, going to be coming back, finished 9th last year's championship. So those are kind of the 3 drivers who have a lot, more experience than the others in the field. New names to the field, that's for sure. So we'll have to see kind of how the field shakes out over Friday practice.
David, one of the guys I highlighted is Connor Lipka as well.
Yeah, Connor Lipka's a Cup Karts North America Grand Nationals winner.
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago. So he was only 8 when that happened. So so he's another driver with a good amount of experience. We'll see if he's able to. He's ran the challenge before, just not regularly last year. So we'll see if he's going to go for the full season as well. He's
got some big event experience. Connor does as well, right? Running in the Rotax, the trophy final. He's running a lot of big events.
Yep. And another driver to note is Pedro Cueta. the driver out of Colorado, recently just had his lower leg amputated. So he's actually going to be working with a trigger for the throttle. He's been doing a lot of testing since that. I think Super Nationals was his last race with his leg intact before it was removed, for a medical situation. So that'll be a cool story to kind of follow. He's been working with Forward Direction Motorsports. I know Henry Bodette kind of did an introduction of him at the Super Nationals while you guys were doing your coverage. So it'll be cool to kind of follow his story. Ever since he's been getting a big following on social media. So we'll kind of keep that. See how that story is unfolding for him.
It's a fantastic story, just so inspirational. This kid just wants to race, and again, the minute he had the amputation, straight back out. As soon as I can get back behind the wheel, let me know. And I love it. Again, the racing was the thing that helped pull him through all of this. So we can't wait to see him be part of the challenge here this weekend. Looking forward to it all as we get ready to cap things off. As I said before, folks, you can listen live all weekend long, a true EKN Trackside live program, as we'll have the live audio from the event streaming on ekartingnews.com/live. You'll also be able to pick it up on the EKN Radio Network app if you have that on your phone as well. David, you and I will be posting a lot to our social media platforms. Our hashtags will be hashtag EKN at Coda, hashtag The Challenge, and hashtag Tucson. Again, we kind of rolled in there super late Thursday night. But we'll be at the track Friday, and we'll be hammered down as we are with Paddock Insider and just lots of content on social media.
Yeah, again, the focus is going to be on the tire, talking with a lot of people, seeing how it performs. Obviously post-race weekend, we'll kind of do comparisons lap time wise, and we'll kind of do that as the weekend's going, but more in depth following the weekend.
There you have it, folks. Again, we are ready to go for our first of 4 trips west for the Challenge of the Americas, the Musselman Honda Circuit in Tucson, Arizona, starting things off this weekend. January 31st to February the 2nd, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show. Looking forward to the EKN Live coverage. Looking forward to seeing everybody back as part of the Challenge family. Should be a fantastic weekend. Hoping to get some more walk-ups. Over 100 was the pre-entry. Obviously looking to see if we can't get to that 120. If you're thinking about coming to the event and you're on the fence, get out there and get started. This is a fantastic series, as we know. And listen, Tucson's one of the greatest tracks to race on as well. So that in itself should be enough to draw you out to the race weekend. Plus the weather. We're going to have a little bit cooler on Friday, but look for low 70s on Saturday and Sunday. Nothing but sun. And as David mentioned, we'll cross our fingers that the wind is down. As long as we don't get the wind, it's going to be a fantastic weekend. Thanks for tuning into this edition, folks. We do appreciate it. On behalf of David Cole, my name is Rob Howden. Bye for now.